Alright, in this video, I just want to share how we can create our own USB media drive for Pop! OS Linux distro. So we're going to go ahead and open up the Firefox browser here. And we're just going to go ahead and type in Pop! OS. This first option here, Pop! OS by System76. And this is both created and maintained by System76. We can select this download button here and scroll down. This first option we have is Pop! OS 22.04 LTS, which just stands for long-term support. File size is roughly 2.56 gigs, and the system requirements recommended are roughly about 4 gigabytes of RAM, 16 gigabytes of storage, and a 64-bit processor. This one specifically is for Intel, AMD, or 10 series NVIDIA GPUs or older. And if you have a newer NVIDIA GPU, you can come down here to this option here, which is Pop! OS with NVIDIA. So for me, I'm just going to go ahead and select this download button. And we're going to go ahead and let that roll. And while that's running, I'm also going to open up the tab here. And I want to install Balena Etcher, which is going to help us make our bootable media drive. And reason I'm going to use Etcher for Pop! OS as opposed to Rufus is when I personally have installed Pop! OS using a Rufus setup, I actually had issues not once but twice. And when I actually set it up using Balena Etcher, I had no issues whatsoever, not once but twice. So we're going to go ahead and download Etcher. And from here, these are the different download options. So this first one here is for Windows for both 32 and 64-bit. As well, we have Mac OS and some Linux options here. So I'm going to select download. And we see our Pop! OS ISO is complete. And Balena Etcher executable is also complete. So we'll minimize this option here. And I'm going to open up my File Explorer. Open up downloads just to confirm. Awesome. We have both of those here. Let's go ahead and bring this up. I'm going to double click this. And bear with me just a moment here. We should see the Balena logo pop up in the center. Boom, just like that. Minimize this here. And we see it did automatically launch open. And right here, we do have the icon on the desktop. So I'm going to close this. We'll go ahead and bring this over here. And then the next thing we're going to need is a blank USB drive, or at least a USB drive that has no important data on it. And go ahead and connect that to our device. And bear with me, I'm fidgeting with that right now. There we go. And as we see here, I have that USB drive connected. It's referred to as new volume right here. No data inside. So we'll go ahead and select X. Double click to launch Balena Etcher. And from here, I want to flash from file. And I'm going to select the Pop! OS ISO, hit open, and then under the drive, it does automatically select for you. So if you have multiple drives connected, go ahead and select change and then make your alternative selection. I'm going to go ahead and cancel and go ahead and flash. Do you want to allow this app to make changes to your device? We are, of course, flashing that drive, so we are good to go. And there we go. It is flashing the drive for us here. And through the power of editing, I will go ahead and probably speed this process up until the end of completion. But we're just going to go ahead, sit here and wait. And in the meantime, let me open the browser, close everything out, and just let this roll. Okay, we're back and we are roughly at about 96% installation. We have a few seconds left here. We're going to let that roll. And it is just running through doing some validation checks. You can of course skip, but we're just going to let that roll. and flash complete. So target successful. And we're going to go ahead and close out of this here. And I'm going to open File Explorer. Now, as we notice here, we don't see that drive located on the left side of our pane. That's because it does install an EFI partition, which is technically non-readable. However, we can open by right-clicking on the Windows Start menu, go to Disk Management, go ahead and bring this up here, and we can see Disk 2 right here. This is all set, so I'm going to right-click, eject, and close this out, and we now have our drive ready to go. That's going to be it for this one.